Well, and I would say this, and this is the uniqueness of African Americans. We have a capacity to show grace and mercy. Um, we have the capacity in general of compassion. And the same pastor that I had lunch with a couple months ago, he asked me, Darren, what do you think your spiritual gift is? And I said, I think that is teaching because I could take a complex topic and oftentimes make it simple. He goes, you know what? I was thinking that yours is mercy. But what he was seeing was my ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what he was seeing, and God has gifted us with that. So we do have that capacity as African Americans, and so therefore we have, because we've been given that. God has given us that, and so therefore we cannot not use it to His glory.
I agree with that.
And I would just say that, but so that does not alleviate my responsibility to say to those that look like me, there is something in the water that you need to stop drinking, because what is ultimately going to do is not prepare you for His kingdom. And so therefore, if we don't speak to that, we're doing them a disservice, regardless
And I
of
think
what
you're
else is
doing
going on.
I think you're doing a equal disservice if you don't point out who's putting it in the water.
For me, and I say this from time to time,
Because I'm going,
I know the institutions are against me. I know that any given moment, okay, this is what we face, and that they don't get, and they are beginning to see. And I would go with this ICE thing. White people have been really upset that white people were getting killed over this ICE thing. Alex Pretty execution style. We are used to that. That is nothing new to us.
And I have ministered to people who are impacted by that, who are not Black, because they're not used to it. And I recognize that part. However, I want to go back to the church's responsibility to prepare us. Most of the people that I run into who are not used to that, who are devastated, are people who have sat in churches, and Black people also have sat in churches for years and not understood that kind of dynamic is taking place in our society. They have, because again, when I start talking about, even when we do our men's Bible study and we start talking about, these are the dynamics that you're going to have to face, and these are the challenges that are going to be before you, and a lot of them because you don't have the same privilege as the brother sitting next to you, and you're going to have to learn how to navigate in that particular water. Then they will say, but the most important thing is that you go to church and that you pay your tithes and you do all that kind of stuff. I'm not negating that stuff, but I'm saying, but you got to live biblically every day. And just going to church